June 29, 1994, 7 p.m., Kensington Palace. Princess Diana stands in front of a mirror, looking at herself in a dress that will become one of the most famous garments in fashion history. It's black. It's tight. It's off the shoulder. It's everything a royal is not supposed to wear. Her stylist asks if she's sure. "Are you really going to wear this, tonight of all nights?" Diana looks at her reflection one more time. She knows what's about to happen. In less than an hour, her husband will go on national television and admit to the entire world that he's been unfaithful, that he betrayed her, that he chose another woman. And Diana? Diana is going to make sure the world remembers this night. But not because of Charles. "Yes," she says, "I'm wearing it." This is the story of the revenge dress, the moment Diana stopped being a victim and became a weapon. The night she destroyed Charles without saying a single word, and the dress that changed everything. Let's go back to the beginning, because to understand the revenge dress, you need to understand the marriage, the disaster, the lies, the years of pretending everything was fine when nothing was fine. 1981. Charles and Diana get married. She's 19 years old, a kindergarten teacher, sweet, innocent, shy. He's 32, the heir to the throne, sophisticated, worldly, and completely in love with someone else, Camilla Parker Bowles. But Camilla is already married. She's not suitable to be queen, so Charles does his duty. He chooses Diana, young, beautiful, perfect on paper, a blank canvas he can mold into a future queen. The wedding is watched by 750 million people worldwide. It's called the fairy tale. The prince and his princess. Happily ever after. Except there's no happily ever after, because 3 people are in this marriage, and it's getting crowded. From the beginning, Camilla is there. Phone calls, letters, secret meetings. Diana knows. Of course she knows. She finds a bracelet Charles had made for Camilla. 2 intertwined C's. Charles and Camilla. He gives it to her days before the wedding. Diana sees it and realizes the truth. She's not the love story. She's the inconvenience. But she goes through with the wedding anyway. What choice does she have? The dress is made. The cathedral is booked. The world is watching. You can't cancel a royal wedding because your fiancé is in love with someone else. That's not how the monarchy works. So, she marries him, has his children. William in 1982, Harry in 1984. She plays the role, smiles for the cameras, waves to the crowds, becomes the most photographed woman in the world, the people's princess. Everyone loves Diana, and Diana is dying inside. Because Charles doesn't want her. He wants Camilla. And he's not even trying to hide it anymore. The phone calls happen when Diana's in the room. Camilla's pictures are in his diary. He wears cufflinks she gave him. He leaves Diana alone on their honeymoon to call Camilla. He goes to Camilla's house for private talks. It's humiliating. Public. Everyone knows. The staff knows. The press suspects. Diana knows, for certain. She develops bulimia. She self-harms. She's crying out for help in the only way she knows how. But nobody listens. The palace tells her to smile more. Be grateful. Stop causing problems. Charles tells her she's too emotional, too needy, too much. And all the while, he's with Camilla. By the early 1990s, the marriage is a corpse. They're living separate lives, sleeping in separate rooms, appearing together only for official duties. And both of them are looking for comfort elsewhere. Charles has Camilla. Diana has had her own affairs. James Hewitt, James Gilby. She's not innocent, but she's also not the one who broke the marriage. Charles did that on their wedding day, when he couldn't let Camilla go. 1992. The war starts going public. Andrew Morton publishes Diana, Her True Story. It's a bombshell. Details about her bulimia, her suicide attempts, Charles's affair with Camilla. The palace is furious. How dare she air private matters? How dare she make the royal family look bad? Diana denies cooperating with the book, but everyone knows she did. The details are too specific, too personal. This is Diana's story, told on her terms. Then, the tapes leak. The Squidgygate tapes. A private phone conversation between Diana and James Gilby, where he calls her Squidgy, and they talk intimately about her unhappiness. It's humiliating, invasive. Her private pain is now public entertainment. But worse is to come. The Camillagate tapes. A phone conversation between Charles and Camilla. Explicit, intimate, disgusting. Charles tells Camilla he wants to be her tampon. The future King of England, the man Diana married, saying that to another woman. It's broadcast everywhere, played on radio, printed in newspapers. The whole world hears Charles betraying Diana in the most graphic way possible. Diana is vindicated. The public now knows what she's been living with. But she's also devastated, because hearing your husband tell another woman he loves her while the whole world listens, that's not victory. That's another kind of death. December 1992. Charles and Diana officially separate. It's announced to Parliament. The fairy tale is over, but they're not divorced yet. That would be too scandalous. Instead, they exist in this weird limbo. Separated, but still married. Still appearing together occasionally. Still pretending for the children. But the war isn't over. Both sides are leaking stories. Charles's camp paints Diana as unstable, paranoid, difficult. Diana's camp paints Charles as cold, uncaring, obsessed with Camilla. The press is having a field day. The public is choosing sides. And mostly, they're choosing Diana. Because she's the one who got hurt. She's the one who was lied to. She's the victim. And Diana knows it. She knows the power of public opinion. She knows that if she plays this right, she can win. Not Charles, not Camilla, not the affair, but the war for hearts and minds, the court of public opinion. That's a battle she can win. Which brings us to June 1994. Charles has agreed to participate in a documentary. It's called Charles, the Private Man, the Public Role. Jonathan Dimbleby spent years working on it. It's supposed to rehabilitate Charles's image, show him as a thoughtful, caring, misunderstood man, make people see his side. But there's a problem. Dimbleby asked the question everyone wants answered. Did you try to be faithful in your marriage? And Charles, sitting there in his perfectly tailored suit, looking directly into the camera, says, yes, until it became irretrievably broken down, us both having tried. Translation? Yes, I cheated, but only after the marriage was already over, so it's not really my fault. The documentary is scheduled to air on June 29, 1994. The palace has been preparing for weeks, managing the message, coordinating responses, making sure Charles comes across as honest but not guilty, sympathetic but not weak. Diana knows about the documentary. She knows what Charles is going to say, and she knows that everyone will be watching. The press, the public, the world. This is Charles's big moment, his chance to tell his story, to explain himself, to move on. And Diana decides, not on my watch. She's been invited to a gala at the Serpentine Gallery, a charity event, art, culture, high society. She was supposed to attend weeks ago, but the date happens to be the same night as Charles's documentary. Some people suggest she should cancel, stay home, let Charles have his moment. Don't make it about her. Diana has other ideas. She calls her stylist. She wants to make a statement. She wants to wear something that will obliterate Charles's carefully managed confession, something that will make every newspaper in the world choose her photo over his, something that screams, "I don't need you. I never needed you. And while you're apologizing for betraying me, I'm going to look so good that everyone will wonder what the hell is wrong with you." They choose the dress. It's by Christina Stambolian, a Greek designer. Diana bought it 3 years ago, but never wore it. It was too daring, too sexy, too unroyal. But tonight it's perfect. The dress is black, tight, off the shoulder. It hugs every curve, shows her legs, shows her shoulders, shows her confidence. It's everything the royal family hates. Everything Diana has been told she shouldn't wear. Everything that breaks protocol. And she's going to wear it anyway. Her staff is nervous. Are you sure about this? The optics, the message. Everyone will say you're trying to upstage Charles, that you're being petty, vengeful. Diana knows exactly what they'll say, and she doesn't care. Because for once, she's in control. For once, she's the one making the choice. For once, she's not the victim. She's the star. 7:30 p.m. Diana steps out of her car at the Serpentine Gallery. The photographers go insane. Flashbulbs exploding, cameras clicking, everyone shouting her name. She looks directly at them, smiles, poses. She knows she looks incredible. She knows every photo of her tonight will eclipse anything Charles says in his documentary. Inside, people can't stop staring. She's radiant, confident, powerful. She's not the sad, betrayed wife anymore. She's a woman who knows her worth. And if Charles doesn't see it, the rest of the world certainly does. Meanwhile, across London, millions of people are watching Charles admit to adultery on national television. He's sitting there, looking uncomfortable, trying to explain why he went back to Camilla. It's honest. It's raw. It should be the biggest royal story of the year. But it's not. Because while Charles is confessing, the media is getting the first photos of Diana in that dress, and editors are making a choice. Charles's confession or Diana looking like that? The headline writes itself. The next morning, every newspaper in Britain runs Diana on the front page. The thriller he left to woo Camilla. Di removes the gloves. The princess and the revelation. Charles's interview is mentioned, but Diana's dress is the story. The revenge dress. The fuck you dress. The I don't need you anymore dress. Diana has won. Without saying a word, without giving an interview, without confirming or denying anything. She just wore a dress. And that dress destroyed Charles more effectively than any statement ever could. Because the message is clear. While you're apologizing for cheating on me, I'm thriving. While you're explaining yourself, I'm living my best life. While you're trying to make people feel sorry for you, I'm making them jealous of me. Checkmate. But here's the thing. The revenge dress isn't just about one night. It's about Diana reclaiming her narrative. For years, she's been the victim, the betrayed wife, the tragic princess. And yes, all of that is true, but she's also more than that. She's beautiful, she's charismatic, she's powerful, and she's done being defined by Charles's choices. The revenge dress is the beginning of Diana's reinvention. From that night on, she starts living differently. She works out, She wears bold fashion. She dates. She travels. She focuses on her charity work. She becomes more than just Charles's ex-wife. She becomes Diana, the people's princess, the woman who refused to disappear. She starts speaking out. In November 1995, she gives the Panorama interview, the one where she says the most famous line about her marriage. There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. It's watched by 23 million people in the UK alone, 200 million worldwide. She talks about Charles's affair, her own affairs, her struggles with bulimia and mental health. She doubts she'll ever be queen, but says she wants to be a queen of people's hearts. It's explosive, honest, devastating, and it's Diana taking complete control of her story. Not the palace, not Charles, her. She's the one speaking. She's the one telling the truth. She's the one who gets to define what this marriage was and what it did to her. The palace is furious. The queen demands they divorce. Enough is enough. This public airing of grievances has to stop. In August 1996, Charles and Diana officially divorce. She loses her HRH title. She's no longer Her Royal Highness, just Diana, Princess of Wales. Some see it as a punishment, a stripping of status, but Diana sees it as freedom. She's no longer bound by royal protocol. She can live her life, make her own choices, be herself. And she does. She dates Dodi Fayed. She campaigns against landmines. She travels to Bosnia, to Angola, walking through minefields to draw attention to the cause. She's photographed holding AIDS patients, breaking stigma with a simple touch. She auctions off her dresses, raising millions for charity. She's more popular than ever, but she's also vulnerable. The paparazzi chase her everywhere. The press won't leave her alone. She's the most famous woman in the world, and she can't go anywhere without cameras following. It's suffocating, dangerous. And on August 31st, 1997, it kills her. A car crash in a Paris tunnel. Diana, Dodi, and their driver, Henri Paul, all die. The world is devastated. 2.5 billion people watch her funeral. Charles cries. William and Harry walk behind her coffin. The Queen, who once seemed so cold toward Diana, gives a speech calling her an exceptional person. The British public grieves like they've lost a family member. And through it all, people remember the dress, the revenge dress. The moment Diana took control, the night she showed the world that she wasn't just a victim, she was a survivor, a fighter, a woman who refused to be broken by the people who tried to diminish her. 28 years later, that dress is still iconic. It's been recreated, analyzed, celebrated. It's in museums. It's in fashion history books. It's a symbol of female empowerment, of taking control, of refusing to be silenced. Because that's what Diana did that night. She refused to be silenced. Charles wanted to control the narrative. The palace wanted her to stay quiet. Society wanted her to be the dignified, suffering wife. And Diana said no. She wore a dress that spoke louder than any words, that said, "I'm done being who you want me to be. I'm going to be who I am. And if you don't like it, that's your problem." Think about what it took to wear that dress. Diana knew she'd be criticized. She knew people would call her petty, attention-seeking, inappropriate. She knew the palace would be angry. She knew it would escalate the war with Charles. But she did it anyway. Because sometimes you have to choose yourself. Sometimes you have to stop being the bigger person and start being the person who refuses to be small. The revenge dress is about more than fashion. It's about agency, about a woman who spent years being told what to do, what to wear, what to say. Finally saying, enough. This is my life. This is my body. This is my choice. And you don't get to tell me how to live anymore. It's about power, not the power of the throne or the title, but personal power. The power that comes from knowing your worth, from refusing to be diminished, from walking out the door looking like $1,000,000 when everyone expects you to stay home and hide. It's about timing, too. Diana could have worn that dress any other night, but she chose that night. The night Charles confessed to the world, the night he tried to rewrite their history, the night he wanted sympathy. And Diana made sure that nobody was talking about Charles. Everyone was talking about her. That's strategic genius. That's understanding media. That's knowing that in a world of 24-hour news cycles and constant content, the visual always wins. Charles had his confession. Diana had a dress. And the dress won. People still debate whether it was the right move. Was it petty? Was it beneath her? Should she have taken the high road? But here's the thing about the high road. Sometimes it's just another word for silence, for accepting bad treatment with grace, for making it easy. But there's a sadness to this story too, because the revenge dress shouldn't have been necessary. Diana shouldn't have had to prove her worth. She shouldn't have been in a marriage where her husband loved someone else. She shouldn't have been lied to, betrayed, humiliated. She should have been loved, cherished, appreciated. But she wasn't. And so she did what she had to do. She took control of the only thing she could control: her image, her narrative, her power. The revenge dress is Diana's middle finger to everyone who underestimated her. To Charles, to Camilla, to the palace, to the people who thought she'd fade quietly into the background. She didn't fade. She burned bright. So bright that 28 years later, we're still talking about it. That's legacy. That's power. That's Diana. So the next time someone tries to diminish you, remember the revenge dress. Remember that you don't have to accept being small. You don't have to smile through your pain to make others comfortable. You don't have to be the bigger person when someone makes you feel tiny. Sometimes the best revenge is looking so good that everyone wonders what the hell the other person was thinking. Sometimes the best revenge is living your best life while they explain themselves. Sometimes the best revenge is a black off-the-shoulder dress and the confidence to wear it. Diana knew that. And on June 29, 1994, she showed the world. This is the story of the revenge dress. The night Diana destroyed Charles without saying a word. The moment fashion became warfare. The dress that changed everything. 28 years later, it's still the most famous dress in the world. Not a wedding dress, not a ball gown, a revenge dress. Because sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is just showing up and refusing to be broken. Diana showed up, and she looked incredible doing it. That's the revenge.